bit as we bring back in Pat Casey.
Yeah, Pat Casey is no joke. 360 triple tail whip landed very, very long into a bar spin to no-hander. Truck driver to double tail whip 360.
Are you kidding me? Out of that save after landing long and having to throw basically a setup trick over the second set to regain his speed, that was huge.
Yeah, the first set he had to go a little bit bigger than normal, doing a triple tail whip 360, landed very long, had no speed, but still was able to get that bar spin to no-hander and save up enough speed for that truck driver to double tail whip. No problem at all. Pat Casey riding the sunset.
Now again, if you're just joining us, the best possible run score you can get out here tonight is a 10. We have 5 judges in the booth. They're operating off of a 1 to 10. Alex Coleborn out of the UK, known for being one of the most technically progressive riders around.
Yeah, I met this kid this morning, actually. I've watched him on Instagram for years, doing it with a bar spin backflip to a 360 triple tail whip, truck driver to 7. I don't even know why these guys are... Where do they get these tricks from out of their brains? Like, this is video game stuff.
And it's insane how rapid fire they have to put them together 3 jumps in a row.
Nice, big, juicy backflip 360. Oh, here we go, 360 double tail whip, triple tail whip into a truck driver, 720. I mean, these are insane tricks right in a row. I don't think they've ever been done right in a row like this.
All right, so Pat Casey in the top spot with a 6.68, but Mr. Coleborn, second gold medalist, he's known for a big, explosive style.
Daniel Sandival starting off with a downside 360 tail up to bar spin, to truck driver, to tail whip, to bar spin. I mean, this is
bar spin back.
Super tech, yeah. I mean, truck driver to tail whip to bar spin is crazy. Downside whip to bar spin, no problem. If you take a look, he has no brakes on his bike. And there's a double tail whip to no-hander. Then he does a truck driver, which is a 360 bar spin, to tail whip, to bar spin out.
And there's just so much going on, and look at that, the highest single run score we've seen thus far with 3 riders. BMX Big Air gold medalist. He's got dirt skills and vert skills as well. It's Colton Satterfield.
Looks like he has mirror on his shirt, and that was a mirror trick right there. 360 backflip, no-hander. Oh, that was a Cam White, a la Cam White right there on that last set. Bar spin to tail whip backflip, which is a massive trick.
Colton's known for throwing down some insane combo moves as we take a look at some slow-mo highlights.
360 backflip no-hander is a beautiful trick. To bar spin to tail whip backflip on that last set. I'm very impressed.
He perfectly catches his feet on the pedals, and yeah, you see Dave Mirror right there on Colton Satterfield's shirt, so he needs an 8.50, but it moves up quite a bit as we bring back in Alex Coleborn.
Alex Coleborn needing a big score to take this thing home tonight.
Well, he's looking at a podium spot as of right now.
360 triple tail whip into a truck driver to 360. This is an insane trick right here on that last set. That's like dream trick land. These guys are these guys are not kidding around today. Look at this first set. He had to have a lot of speed. He saw what Pat Casey was doing, landing flat. So he does an off-access backflip with a bar spin. No problem. Lands perfect on that first set. Plenty of room for a triple tail whip 360 on the second set there, but landed high enough to get that truck driver to 360. So essentially he's doing a 720 with a bar spin. Nice work. 3
perfect landings in a row right there, and that'll bump him up to the top spot. A new leader. He overtakes Daniel Sandival. Do not count this gentleman out. He's got some explosive combo tricks.
He started with his front wheel already down the landing, so he didn't have enough speed, so that way he could do that big laid out front flip. Wow. Kid putting it together.
Do you think that's going to be enough, TJ, to take that top spot back from Mr. Coleborn?
I'm not too sure with the degree of difficulty on that first set. Big laid out front flip. I can't tell you how much I love that trick. Landed perfectly on the landing to downside tail whip to bar spin. Perfect. Landed awesome on the landing. And then that was a truck driver to double tail whip, which is a 360 bar spin to double tail whip out. Lands perfect pedals, perfect execution. I gotta say, very close.
So an 8.56, so he is not going to over. More riders left to go. Colton Walker sitting down there in 6th place, but this guy's been pushing the progression of ramp riding lately.
So much talent on the deck. That's a backflip bar spin to tail whip. Oh, 360 double tail whip to truck driver, no problem. Then he pulls off that tail whip. I think that was a bar spin or an X-up, I'm not sure. I gotta see on the replay because it was just way too fast.
I think that might have been the trick that did him in the first run. We'll have to see.
A la the dirt jump legend Cam White with that backflip bar spin to tail whip. Then he does a 360 double tail whip to bar spin, and then does a bar spin tail whip.
Oh,
all
look at
in
the right
same
hand.
jump.
Fumbling for the grip, TJ. Did you see that?
Look at his right foot on the crank arm right there. He doesn't even give a care. He's barely making it, no brakes.
Oh my
Insane
goodness, a
run.
9.22. So we have another lead change here in round number 2. Remember, this is the second and final round here. So Colton Walker takes us from the semifinals, and all 3 of these guys are on the outside of the top 3 looking in. This is Logan Martin.
Logan Martin with a backflip tail whip. He wanted something else there, but into a triple tail whip, into a front flip tail whip. Now this is perfect execution. So depending on the DOD score, which is the degree of difficulty, we'll see if this guy moves up. Man, that was a very good run.
And he had the slip up on that front flip tail whip in the first run.
He wanted something else on that backflip tail whip to something. It was going to be something. So then he did a triple tail whip instead on that second set.
I went quad. That was
Quad
4
tail
times
whip,
around.
what?
That was a quad whip.
Oh my God.
A quad whip into a front flip tail whip. Are you kidding me,
We might
TJ?
just saw our new leader right now.
We've already had a couple
I
of
couldn't
lead
even
changes
tell
here.
it was a quad whip.
It's insane. It happens so fast.
Oh
So
my
he
gosh.
did 9.22 or better. He gets
Bumped
an
him right up.
8.82. So as we bring in Australia's Brandon Lupos for his first of 2.
This kid does some really big tricks. There's some nice style. You see that big no-handed flip, nice 720 coming on the second set. Into that cash roll on the last set there. Cash roll being brought into BMX by Brett Benesewich, who's another fallen soldier. That guy's one of the baddest ever. And for him to bring that out was really nice. Big, smooth, no-handed flip on the first set. You know, that's something that you don't see a lot in these contests, is guys worrying about style like this. Like, he's very concerned with how he looks doing the trick, not just getting it done.
Look where he puts that down right there, just past the sweet spot, just past the knuckle of the landing right there. And look at that score, an 8.26. That is
And he just exudes style. The kid does not play around.
Let's see what he can combine here for his first of 2.
Double flip on the first set to a front flip no-hander. I'm not too positive what we just saw on the last set, but I'm pretty sure it was a downside double tail whip 360, which is insane. But a double flip on the first set. The kid does double flips for breakfast every single day, and then he goes right into a front flip tuck no-hander. He can do that trick double on the Mega.
Watch where he lands on this
now,
right here, though.
Yeah, he's got it's a triple downside tail whip. So he's got a triple downside tail whip, which is kind of like a decade, but it's a downside 360 tail whip, but it's a triple. So that was insane.
All right, we'll see where this puts him into the mix here. This is the opening round out of 2 here in BMX Triple Hit. Your current leader, Brandon Lupos, with an 8.26. Just going a little off to rider's right on that one, but he checks in with a 9. Again, the best possible score you can get is a 10. Ryan Fox was ready to do battle here in the semifinals and had a crash, so he's looking to get some work done here in 2017.
Nice big bar spin backflip into a 1080 on the second set, into a double backflip on the last set. That is insane. This is ridiculous. There's nothing but upside for these guys, and all of a sudden he just goes out first go. Keeps it easy on the first set.
How in the world?
Into a 1080 and is
Once,
just killing it.
Twice, three
times right away, no problem.
And then has the speed to do a double backflip out of that.
Dude, that's insane. He landed so high that he was able to do a double backflip on the last set, which I don't even know why you would try a double backflip on the last set.
Oh my goodness, at 9.36,
Just
so not technical skills. #1 qualifier from the Lake Paris event. This is Nick Bruce.
Nick Bruce, 360 triple tail whip into a 360 backflip, no-hander. Double tail whip backflip.
The hits just keep coming.
I'm trying
you don't
my
even
hardest.
get a chance to
I'm
process
sorry, yeah.
what you just saw before the next
check this guy out.
trick comes at you.
360 triple tail whip. It almost was like an off-access backy, but it wasn't. And there's a 360 tuck no-hander backflip on a second set into a double tail whip backflip. Man, these guys are just not playing around. Like I said,
the judges got the right. Wow, at 9.42, which will
solid.
put him in the top spot. Last year, mind-blowing technical combos are what he's known for. This is Alex Coleborn.
Massive backflip tail up on the first set, triple tail 360 into a truck driver to 360 on the last set. So it's a 720 truck, but it was like the truck driver was done on the first set. So then he goes bar spin catch, big backflip, just a big floaty backflip That's how he wants to be. Triple tail whip 360 on the second set.
Just got a little weird on the landing on that.
Into a truck driver to 360.
I'm surprised with the landing that he had out of that 3 triple whip. I'm surprised that he had enough speed to get over and do that. But at 8.52, so that'll slide him into 4th place. All over again one more time with Marcus Christopher.
Yeah, you follow Marcus Christopher on Instagram and you'll see some stuff go down. Backflip tail whip, 360 backflip on the second set. To double downside tail whip, perfect. And he looked like he's just going down a set of trails like nothing.
He's only 14 years old.
14 years old.
His first round, he rides like he's one of the veterans.
Look at that. Look at that 360 backflip, how smooth and perfect it was. And then 360 double downside. Like 2 years ago, this kid would have won everything. So he was born in the wrong year, sir.
So again, 5 judges working off of a 1 to 10 point scale. It's overall impression. Those 5 scores are averaged together. So best possible run score you're looking at here today is a 10. Talking about Ohio's Nick Bruce.
Nick Bruce, I mean, this kid, look at him. He looks like a linebacker. Triple tail whip 360 on that first set.
Oh,
he landed low and got lucky. Triple tail whip backflip on him. He landed low on the first set, right?
Did you see
Didn't
the way
have
he
any speed for the second set, then just decided to pump it and then said, you know what, I'm gonna send it on the last set and see what happens.
But he was so compressed.
Triple tail whip.
Watch
360.
Watch how compressed he is. He's leaning into the bars as he's going through the flat. He has to lawn dart that or straight jump it, if you will. Just
decides to do a double tail whip backflip on the last set after getting so loose on that second set. He pulled it together, man. I mean, that was
That's not going to be his best score, but it wasn't the best round that he wanted. He had to clean a few, or he has to clean a few things up, I should say. But he is the last man to ride. Can he claim it again?
Bar spin backflip to tail whip. Double downside tail whip to bar spin. Oh, and last year he did a bar spin to single tail whip. This year, bar spin to double tail whip. Looking solid.
Well, why not wrap up this contest with a little bit of suspense right here as we take another look at it.
Bar spin to tail whip backflip. Very solid, but he landed long. Landed really long, but still got it done. With that double downside tail whip to bar spin.
Late bar.
To bar spin to double tail whip, like during the double tail whip, which is insane.
That's that Twix combo again. He's bar spinning as he's tail whipping, then grabs it and sends it around for another whip of the frame. Will it be enough? He needs a 9.42 to take away the top spot from Nick Bruce, and he gets a 9.50.
Look at the camaraderie. I mean, that's insane. Like, how can you he just took money out of his pocket and they're hugging. So you gotta love BMX, man. That's what it's all about right there.
They're happy for him and they're all happy. They're walking out of here in one piece.
They're
but how
all
about that?
Out.
In the last run, your defending champ from
tough being the first guy in to kind of set the bar, you know. But up next we have a favorite of mine, Boyd Hilder.
This guy's super tech, has lots of street skills, starting off with a bar spin backflip right here.
One-handed Superman seat grab into a quadruple truck driver.
Wow, that happened so fast right there. Boyd Hilder out of the Gold Coast. Your Simple Session 2022 BMX Street Runner back in June, and he also won Best Trick out there, Todd.
Yeah, Boyd normally rides a lot of street, so he doesn't really compete too often in these kind of contests. So it's going to be cool to watch him compete this weekend. Big backflip bar spin there. Into a Superman seat grab one-hander.
Watch this one.
So fast.
It's the bar catch, bar. It's in the middle of a 360 right there, so that'll put him up there in the low 70s. He's got a 71.3. 2018 Peace World Series Chengdu, China event.
He's dropping in. We got a massive double flip on the first set. Into a front flip tail whip. Into a 360 triple whip. That's an awesome run there for Jaie.
That double to start off was wild. It almost looked like he slowed down in the second rotation right there. We'll have to take another look at that one, but a big run right there for Jake Wallwork here to open it up here in round one.
This double flip was absolutely unreal. Spotted his landing there on the first flip.
Did you see how he kind of extended a little bit on that? Am I wrong to say that?
No, a lot of guys on a double flip, you know, you kind of spot your landing, coming around on that first rotation. But that was an unreal run. The double flip into a front flip tail whip. Not many dudes are doing that out here. And then finishing it off with a 360 triple whip. That was an awesome run there for Jake. I know he's going to be stoked with that one.
So the judges working off of a 100-point scale out here today. And we're into the high 80s here in the opening round. It's an 87.66 right there in round one here for Jake Wall. Welcoming our first Polish rider here, David Godziek. This is your X Games 2022 BMX Dirt Gold medalist, by the way.
Dropping in into a 360 double bar spin, into a cash roll. What do we have in the last set? And a triple whip to finish off. I don't think he got quite what he wanted on that first jump, Jimmy.
Let's see if we can take another look at the replay here, and you can kind of see by the reaction right there, you are absolutely right. I think he wanted a little bit more right there and kind of thinking that one through. But you get 2 runs. Remember, it's the best run that counts as we take a look back here from David Godziek.
Dropping in with a 360 double bar spin.
He wanted to send it back the other way.
Yeah, I think he definitely wanted to spin the bars a couple more times. Into the cash roll, into a triple tail whip. You know what's crazy? David rides both mountain bikes and BMX. He is incredible on both.
Oh yeah, he is an absolute beast in the mountain bike world as well. But yeah, you can see on that replay, he wanted more in that first hit. As we bring in Placentia, California's Mr. Pat Casey, 5-time X Games medalist. He owns 1 gold, 3 silver, 1 bronze, including a BMX Dirt Gold medal in his own backyard when they hosted X Games BMX Dirt and Park and Dirt Best Trick in his backyard last season. One of the best styles in BMX.
It's pretty much a dream to have X Games in your backyard, especially to take home the win.
Here we go. Let's see what he puts on. This guy's all about crazy rotations and big combo moves.
Pat dropping in, starting off with a 360 Superman seat grab, into a 360 bar spin tail whip, getting set up in the last, into a cash roll. Same deal. I don't think it's quite exactly what he wanted, but at least he put a run down and got a score on the board.
That was nice. Thank you.
So right now, that high mark to beat is an 87.66, if I'm not mistaken, as we take a look back at Pat Casey's first outing here. Look at the extension.
Massive 360 Super C into that 360 bar spin tail whip, landing perfect. We've got a 360 bar spin to tail whip, into a cash roll. As I said, Jimmy, I think he's just stoked to get a run down. This is going to score on the board so he can throw down something massive on his last run.
Yeah, and it's kind of the same boat for these guys as we were talking about earlier with Skate Vern with the rain this whole week. It's not like these guys got a ton of practice out here. So with the sunny conditions today and just getting out here and making some stuff happen. So that'll put him in that number 2 spot right there. Pat Casey checks in for 4 spot. So for right now, out of Newcastle, UK, this is Kieran Reilly. Very explosive comp rider who's been making waves on the BMX scene since he was a kid. He has a very heavy YouTube presence. This guy is constantly putting up new edits and content, Todd.
Yeah, it's pretty hard these days to do a trick no one's done before, but Kieran's just constantly throwing down something new. Got a 360 double tail whip to bar spin, 360 double bar spin into a 720 whip on the last jump.
There's a lot going on in that run right there.
That was a good run there from Kieran. Kieran is just such an explosive rider, has so much power, and just has some of the biggest tricks in BMX. 360 double tail whip to bar spin.
There's a late bar spin as well.
360 triple bar spin, possibly wanting a 4th one there. 1, 2, 3. I think he might have wanted to go for that 4th one, Jimmy.
I think so too. Looking at the body language right there, I think he wanted to throw the quad bar spin. It's crazy too, to spin up, catch, spin, catch.
That was unreal. Kieran can spin like no other guy out there. He's just, his combinations are just wild.
So again, working off of a 100-point scale out here today in BMX Triple Hit. You get 2 runs. It is the better of your 2 runs that count. So far, we haven't seen anybody jump up into the 90s yet. We've had a couple of scores up there in the 80s. We will have to wait and see. Your judges are obviously talking that one over, as we have not seen the score populate next to Kieran's name here. So what's it going to be? An 88.83. So that should put him in that number 1 spot for Jaie Toohey. They were zooming in on Logan Martin right there. Your X Games 2022 bronze in Mega Park, and he got a silver in dirt. Also a fixture on the Nitro Circus live tour. This is Jaie Toohey.
Joey's massive front flip, bike flip there, into a flip. What do we got on the last? And a quadruple tail whip to finish off. as you saw, Jimmy, just landed a little bit low and then set him up not quite well on that second jump.
That's all right, Jay. It's best run counts. You got another one still to come. And yeah, he wanted more. He just got a little bit of a wonky landing here. That one looked like it was going to get away from him.
Yeah, he definitely had to reach out extra far for that one. But I think he quite possibly may have wanted a double on that second one. Front flip, bike flip, nothing at the same time.
Yeah, the way he tucked into that, he was thinking about that double. I'll walk that plank with you as well. But again, it's best run that counts, so we'll see him change that up in round number 2 right there. See how extended he was? I thought that thing was getting away from him. When he does that, I watch it time and time again, and I'm always amazed about how he's able to grab that thing and pull it back under him at the last second.
Yeah, there's not too many guys out here doing that one. Willie was the first guy to throw that one down, and then Toohey came in and started throwing variations into it.
You can see right there as he's waiting for the react shot. He's thinking about that one. But again, 2 runs, best run counts. He's going to shake it off. Going to get another crack at it right there. See what he checks in with the 73 flat here. That's good enough to put you in that number 5 spot right now, sir, in another round of runs. Taking a look at your BMX Park Olympic gold medalist right here. This is none other than Logan Martin.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a
Fox,
wild run.
we've got
Logan just has
2
an
more
endless amount of
riders, and then
tricks.
we're going to go to break. 2-minute break coming up in about 4 minutes.
We're starting off with a flip bar spin to no-hander, into a 720 double bar spin on the second jump, into an opposite quadruple tail whip. He's stoked with that one.
I was going to say, did you see the smile on his face as he rode across the resi after that last hit?
Man, that's great. Not many people are even doing quadruple tail whips, and Logan just did that one opposite. He can literally throw tail whips both ways. Like, it's hard to tell which is normally what's opposite. But huge backflip bar spin, no-hander there. 720 double bar spin.
Oh my goodness.
So much height.
Yeah, take another look here. This was another shot of the first hit.
He's just so precise with everything.
It's just so dialed. It's so methodical. And again, going oppo with the whips over the last hit there.
That was a very good run from Logan. He's definitely stoked with that one. That's, I think, without a doubt, going to put him on the top place there.
Okay, so here we go. Do we crack into the 90s on this one? And we do, almost at the mid-90s right there at 94.66. Logan Martin finds himself in the top spot here. Definitely heating up here in the latter half of round number 1, Todd. Out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, this is Justin Dowell taking a silver medal in BMX Park at this year's X Games. Just missed the podium in BMX Park Best Trick. He had to settle for 4th.
Justin has some super quick bar spins. We got a flip triple bar spin there into a 360 tail whip, landing a little low into a 360. That's called a Twix, where you do a tail whip and you throw the bars at the exact same time. That trick just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, when you see that, you have to see that one in slow motion to fully appreciate what in the world is going on there.
He has such fast bar spins.
That was insane. I mean, that went around so fast.
Landing a little sideways on that 360 bar spin. We're still managing to get that last trick. 360 bar spin tail whip, that's called a Twix.
He's completely off the bike at that point in the middle of that rotation.
I think he's got a flat tire, Jimmy, so he's maybe just from landing a little bit sideways there.
Well, fortunately, yeah, I think he was pointing his ear because with the tire blowout, those things, I mean, you can speak from experience on this one. Those things, it sounds like a shot out of a cannon when that goes off. So that one probably blew out the eardrum temporarily right there. But taking a look at our standings here, Logan Martin, that top spot, only rider to score in the 90s as of right now. But we still have one more rider to go here.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to beat Logan's score there. That's a high score. What is the tire going to explode? Oh.
So trying to see where the tire actually blew out, was able to ride out into the airbag right there, but you can see him tapping that air right. It's Daniel Sandival, your overall champion on the 2022 Monster Energy BMX Triple Challenge.
I think we're going to be in for a treat here, Jimmy. Daniel is so consistent. We've got a 360 oppo double downside tail whip into a 360 bar spin, Oppo tail whip, bar spin to 360. I can't even keep up.
Did you see that reaction right there?
Wow.
Rightly so, just throws that one in at the end. What is this going to do to the standings?
Wow, that's going to be a tough one, Jimmy. I think that might have it. That was wild. I couldn't even keep up with the tricks. He's stoked on that one. Yeah, I think that one's going to take first place.
So again, Logan Martin sits in that top spot with what I believe is a 94.66. But I mean, look at the mechanics of this run here from Daniel Sandival.
3 bar spin, tail whip to bar spin. 360 double downside tail whip there. 3 bar down whip to bar. That's so many tricks. So dialed. Daniel's so consistent.
The best was the reaction out of that last hit right there. And he just looks up at the fans and just throws that hand up and claims it. Yeah, came in a little hot on Ryder's right side right there, but rides that one out. That's a make, ladies and gentlemen.
This is going to be interesting, Jimmy.
And at 96.33, so at the end of round number 1, we have a new leader here.
Fox, about
in
30
BMX
seconds
Triple
to break.
Hit here at the nest on the outside, looking in as of right now with that 87.66, Todd.
Starting off with a massive double flip no-hander. We haven't seen that one yet. Front flip, bar spin to no-hander. Into a front flip tail whip. That is an unreal run from Jake. He is stoked.
How in the world did that just happen? Because he looked like he got a wacky landing coming out of that first hit right there, and that was a heck of a save. We'll have to see it again on the replay, but man, you can see him patting his chest on that one, and rightly so. Watch this.
So that double backflip no-hander on the first set.
Did you see the wobble and the flat going to that second
Jake
hit?
always makes it happen. He always throws down, has the biggest tricks out there. I'm glad I'm not a judge, Jimmy.
How did he tuck into that late no-hander out of that? I mean, he wobbled across the flat and still had the presence of mind to do that.
That's absolutely incredible. Jake is going to be over the moon with that run. And as I said, Jimmy, having the 2 runs, you know you kind of have to throw down as big as you can. You can't kind of give it, you know, kind of a half kind of effort because you have the best guys in the world out here.
He's into the 90s, Todd, a 91.33. He's gonna overtake Kieran Reilly, puts him back in the podium. He sits on the bubble from that first round score there. Had a little slip up there, finds himself down there at the bottom of the pack with a 25 flat for now here.
He's starting off with a double flip again. Will he get that 1080?
Yep.
Oh, he pulls it!
Pulls it, puts it down easy here.
Into a
number 2.
cash roll.
Wow. That looked effortless. It was like he wasn't even trying.
I thought he was going to do a 720. He was spinning that slow, but he brings it around, manages to make it to the last jump with the cash roll.
Are you kidding me?
There's so much pressure, Jimmy, dropping in, knowing that you've only got one more shot and you've got to put a score down on the board.
Well, say goodbye to that score at 25 from the first round. Look at this. And I'll just land this now.
Just pulling it around. Seems a normal thing to be everyone double flipping that first set. Into that 1080 there with a cash roll to finish, pushing over that jump. That's a good thing about that trick, Jimmy, is you carry a lot of forward momentum. So after landing that little bit lower, you can push through with that cash roll.
Yeah, I was saying, like, maybe a little bit high on the knuckle on that one, but again, that 25 is going to go in. 89.83. That gets him out of the bottom of the pack. It puts him in the number 4 spot. He's even Godziek. He's got a 73.66. You saw that he wanted more in that first round. What's he got here in round number 2, Todd?
David starting off with a cork 1080 into a triple tail whip mid-set. Into a cash roll, see Jimmy pushing through.
He just slingshotted that cash roll at the end, and definitely a little more fired up at the end of that run than we saw in round number 1.
Wow, that was a wild 1080. But pulling that on the first set is difficult, super difficult. Cork 1080 there. Landed perfect into a triple tail whip. Little low, but then pushing through with that cash roll. Triple tail whip. Just making it over with that cash roll. Seems like everyone's putting it together, Jimmy.
You know,
It's just that energy. When things start happening, everybody starts feeding off of one another. And that vibe, you can feel it in the air.
Yeah, doing a 1080 on that first set is very risky.
Put down the cash roll, goes right to bike at the airbag. You didn't like that camera angle? Take another look at it right there. And that reaction by David Godziek says it all right there.
It's going to be interesting.
And a 90.66 for him. That's going to get him into the 90s, but that is not going to be enough to overtake Jake Wallwork, so that'll put him in fourth. So, second and final attempt right here for Brandon Lupos out of Sydney.
Start with that flip triple whip again, landing perfect. Into a 1080. Cash roll no-hander, that was...
And again, look at that reaction by Brandon. So the trend continues here in this second round of runs time.
Man, this is going to be a tough one to judge.
Yeah, the judging booth right now is a hot seat. That's a tough spot to be in. They're earning their keep here today.
I'm glad I don't have that job.
It's a lot safer being here in the booth, Todd.
Oh, way safer. That 1080 there, just pulling it around. Flip triple whip, so perfect. 1080, and then getting set up perfectly for that last shot. Cash roll no-hander, that's the first time we've seen that one.
I believe it was the 10 that did him into that first run. Had to dab a foot. But pulls it off clean here and then takes the hands off in the cash roll in run number 2. The question is, what's he going to be on the score? Remember, the 90s creep down into that number 4 position. He's sitting in 14th pre-run as we await the score. Man, the second round is just going off the rails as of right now, but you know, that's kind of the trend. I mean, that's just what happens every time we host one of these Nitro World Games events. So Daniel Sandival sitting in that top spot, followed by Logan Martin as of right now. So Brandon Lupos is going to check in with the 92.66. That'll put him in podium contention. He's in the number 3 spot, so he bumps Jake Wallwork down to 4th. So now it's Sandival, Martin, Lupos, your 1, 2, 3. So now that X Games medalist Pat Casey, he owns a gold, 3 silver, and 1 bronze in those events.
Pat starting off with that 360 Superman C grab again. 360 bar spin, double tail whip this time into a cash roll tail whip.
Oh, he hangs all the way.
Fuck yeah.
Everyone is putting it together right now.
The trend continues here.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Give my hand out. Fuck yeah.
Talk us through this run, Todd.
That 360 Superman C grab Indy, massive extension into that 360 bar spin, double tail whip mid-set. Into that cash roll tail whip. That's the first time we've seen that today as well. Everyone is bringing out the bangers. Cash roll, tail whip and stomping it, just holding on.
With him, you can see the reaction as well. Looked like a little wobbly run away from that one. I don't know. Either way, he rode that thing into the airbag. That is a make right there. So he was in 9th place pre-run. He was down there in the low 80s. He had an 81.33. So again, the judges are in the hot seat over. I don't even know where the judges are sitting right now, but I can feel the heat coming out of that booth right now, Todd.
Yeah, it's definitely taken a little bit longer to get those scores coming through.
And he's into the 90s, a 92.16, a 92.16. That's how crazy this competition is right now. That's not even, and again, the 90s just keep creeping as we welcome back in Jaie Toohey.
Toohey starting with that front flip, bike flip, double flip mid-set, switching his feet there into a quad whip. I don't know if you saw Jimmy, but Toohey actually switches his feet around for his tail whip, so he's got to land that double flip, quickly change and rotate his feet around, and then kick that quad whip.
So looking a little bit more happier at the end of that run, but again, look at how far away the bike gets from him on that first hit, and then tucks into the double.
And then finishing off with that quad whip. That was a solid run there from Toohey. That front flip, bike flip. That one looked like he had a little bit more control than the first one. Spinning that double flip. and then into that quad whip.
Yeah, that first one, he was so stretched out, just trying to reach out. I don't even know how he managed to get his hands on the grips and pull that one back under. But a lot more manageable here. And taking a look over the last hit right there, he got back wheel dabbed a little bit on that knuckle. He got a little wobbly on the landing, but he hangs on and rides into the airbag on that one. He had a 73 flat there in run number 1 that had him in that number 10 spot.
Yeah, changing your feet around and riding that way is hard in itself. It feels super uncomfortable. But Toohey's always changing his feet around mid-runs. And
so you see your current leader then, that's Daniel Sandival, looking at the video wall there at the end of the stadium, trying to see what happens there in the replays and what happens with the score. It's Sandival, Martin, and Lupos, your 1-2-3 as we await the score for Mr. Toohey here. Again, it was a 73 flat pre-run. He finds himself in that number 10 spot as of right now. We have 3 riders left to go in this competition, and it's going to be a 90 for Jaie as well. And again, he was your leader. And then at the end of round 1, Daniel Sandival bested him. Can he trade back the favor here on this second and final attempt?
Starting out with that front flip, bike flip as well. Into a 720 triple bar spin.
Oh my gosh.
Into a barrel roll whip. I think he just got a little bit squirrely there with the bars, but I know he's stoked to be rolling away because missing your bars on a 720 like that, it doesn't normally aim quite well, but Logan, unfortunately, not quite getting exactly what he wants. But out here, you have to be throwing down your hardest and biggest tricks because it is tough out here. 720 double bar. Oh, he never spun that third bar spin.
That was a heck of a scene right there. We didn't catch that at real-time speed, but wow.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, that's just pure determination right there.
A perfect front flip, bike flip. Makes it look way too easy. 7 bar, and then just getting caught up on that third bar spin. You see it again, give you that double bar spin, and I think it just
He just went, and then he just cranked it back.
But he's still in second place. Can't be mad with that.
So he'll stick with that first run score of 94.66. So
Justin Dowell going to be able to upset the standings. It comes down to this last run here for Justin Dowell.
Flip triple bar spin again. 360 bar spin, tail whip bar spin. 360 twigs.
Oh, he hangs on.
Hangs on.
I thought he's gonna ride off the side of the resi right there, but he hangs on.
He is stoked to put that run down.
84 flat pre-runs, has him in that number 10 spot.
Flip, triple bar spin, so much time. 360 bar spin, tail whip, the bar spin, into that 360 wigs, which is a bar spin at the same time as the tail whip. That trick does not make any sense to me.
and you don't appreciate the landing at that point from that camera angle because he was going to rider's left.
It looked like he was going to ride up the side of that thing, but he hangs on there. So we'll see what happens here. He had that 84 flat. What do you think, Todd? Walk that plank. Where do you think this is going to slide him in right here?
I unfortunately don't...
Build a little drama.
Yeah, I unfortunately don't think this is going to bump Sandival or unfortunately make it onto the podium. Jimmy, what these guys are throwing down is just, it's absolutely incredible. You know, these tricks are really kind of up until 5 years ago, you know, everyone's kind of got their own specific trick, but now everyone can do absolutely everything, and having 3 jumps, you got to bring out your biggest tricks.
Well, the score taking a while to come in here, so the judges obviously having a discussion about that one with 1 rider left to go. If you're just joining us here, it's BMX Triple Hit presented by Brisbane, Queensland. Daniel Sandival, our current leader, waiting up on top of that Roland to take his final run. So Justin's going to crack into the 90s, and he will jump off.